Hello and welcome to this Advective Weather video. We have a volatile atmosphere in place across Oklahoma today with an explicit strong tornado risk across Oklahoma and far southern Kansas. This is not something to take lightly and it could be a very big day. Hopefully, anything that does happen remains over open country, but unfortunately storms are expected to affect parts of the Oklahoma City metro area and potentially Norman, Lawton, Enid and Tulsa, Oklahoma as well. Now, these storms aren't expected to happen for another few hours. They should be firing off around 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time. But what has already started is the threat across Colorado, Kansas, and Nebraska. Storms have been ongoing for several hours at this point, with at least one confirmed tornado so far in the northwestern part of this risk region. Tornado watches are in place for the northwestern part of that region across Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, but also a separate tornado watch in effect for the secondary slight risk, 2 out of 5, across Louisiana and Mississippi, with an elevated tornado threat in place there as well. A tornado watch will shortly come out for the remainder of the enhanced risk, including the strong tornado threat area in the next hour or so. And once again, those storms will be firing off across West Oklahoma around 5 p.m. when conditions will become favourable for strong EF2 plus tornadoes. Additionally, large to very large hail is likely throughout the enhanced risk region. Looking at the setup for today, you can see it's very messy with fronts all over the place, but those lows that formed over the Rockies are gradually migrating eastwards. However, today is expected to be the biggest day of the outbreak sequence, as the upper level system that's been driving severe weather for the past several days, and will continue to do so in the next couple of days, is moving out today. And that means the forcing and the overall environment should be the most favourable today. Looking at the overall pattern, you can see that marginal risk extends from central Florida all the way up into North Dakota, and it's not inconceivable we could have severe warned storms near the Canadian border and on the Gulf Coast at the same time today, which isn't something that happens every day. Now, that's tornado risk, which is the greatest point of concern today, that large hatch risk region you can see, which includes several million people across a large portion of Oklahoma, and that not hatched but still 10% risk that extends through Kansas up to the Colorado border. It's the far northwestern point of that which has seen the confirmed tornadoes so far. In fact, I believe both of them occurred in the 5% region outside it. So of course, on any day where you can see tornadoes, don't expect the strongest ones to be within the 10% chance area. Very possible you could have damaging tornadoes in just the 2% region, which, as you'll note, extends up into southern South Dakota. And there is, of course, that separate 5% tornado risk region across Louisiana and Mississippi. Wind threat not expected to be particularly high today, but of course on any day with big supercells and lots of energy, you can see the winds get much stronger than expected with just 1 or 2 storms. So don't count it out and be prepared for dangerous severe thunderstorms with or without tornadoes. What is expected today, though, is large to very large hail. Once again, we could see hail up to tennis ball or maybe even baseball size, if not larger. That's going to be focused across the southern part of the enhanced risk region, maybe even into Texas, but we could still see 2-inch hail throughout that hatch risk area. Looking at HRR simulated reflectivity, you can see the ongoing storms across Kansas, Colorado, moving into Nebraska. These will once again be continuing through the afternoon into the evening and maybe the overnight hours. But the main focus today is those supercells that fire off around 4 or 5 p.m. and are likely to become tornadic as they move east-northeastwards. We could very well have 1 or more supercells moving through the Oklahoma City metro area, and then as we get into the overnight hours, pushing eastwards into Tulsa and southeast Kansas. On to tomorrow, we have 2 slight risk regions this time that are separated. Possible they could be joined up in an outlook tomorrow, but this time that's not the case. There is an elevated tornado risk with the northern slight risk, large hail and damaging wind threat with both areas. Looking at the setup, those low pressure systems gradually drifting eastwards, but less fronts, less complicated. Hopefully that means more certainty. As you can see, the full risk region, there aren't any strange marginal risks all the way in Florida on tomorrow, but of course that could change as we get to the day of the event. I was able to zoom in and show individual cities at this time. We'll have that in the video tomorrow, but you can see that brown area with an elevated tornado risk from South Dakota through parts of Nebraska and Iowa into northeast Kansas and northwest Missouri. That 2% tornado risk, however, extends all the way into northern Mexico, so it's not inconceivable we could see a tornado on the ground at the same time in South Dakota and Mexico, which once again does not happen that often. The wind risk is once again not hatched at this time. That could change, more likely to change in the Texas portion of the risk as there's more energy down there, but still could be some damaging wind gusts from both regions. And lastly, large to very large hail is expected tomorrow as well as today in those hatched risk areas, with the largest hail likely to be carrying across portions of Texas. Looking at the simulation from the HRRR for tomorrow, you can see that not a lot going on, maybe some storms across central Nebraska, and then everything suddenly fires all the way along the line at once as we get to peak heating in the late afternoon. We can't show you the whole picture, but if it's necessary tomorrow, you will of course have some information for Texas as well. Now, going on to day 3, which is the final day we have a risk outlook for at this time, the tornado outbreak sequence continues. It's been a very long sequence with plenty of tornadoes. This might be the final big day on Saturday as this ridging begins to build, and you can see the site risks are shrinking as we go forwards. Less coverage, less certainty, but it's not impossible that it could continue beyond Saturday. At this time, however, tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds all expected in both areas. But South Texas is likely to be slightly more potent. Either of these could of course be upgraded by the time we get to the day of the event. And that's all for the outlook portion for severe weather, but of course, in any severe weather situation you need to know what to do. Tornado watches have been issued and a third one is on the way. They let you know that tornadoes are possible in the next several hours. But when a tornado warning is issued, that's when you have to take action. Now, you may know this being residents of Tornado Alley, but if there's someone new in the area, or you've got some friends or neighbours that aren't so aware of what's going on, just let them know that some big storms are expected today. Always helps to help out. And you never know, you could be saving a life by making someone weather aware. Now, the second thing that we need to talk about today is the continued flooding. We've had several moderate 3 out of 4 risk days in the last week, but 3 more days of moderate flash flooding potential in the future. Today, there's 2 separate areas across Colorado, Nebraska, Kansas, second region primarily across north-central Louisiana. Tomorrow, the risk shifts to central Texas on the Mexican border, and then doesn't move much by Saturday, so we could see 48 hours of heavy rain with flash floods on top of flash floods in some parts of Texas. It's good, it helps with the drought. There's been a lot of issues with lack of rain in the plains in the past few years, but getting it all in one place and not spreading it out isn't that helpful, and some of this flooding is likely to be severe, if not life-threatening. So of course you need to take the necessary precautions. When a flood watch is issued for your location, it means flash flooding is possible in the next few hours. When a flood warning is issued, that means that flooding is likely to happen and could impact you. If you're in a low-lying area during a flood watch or warning, it's very much advisable to move to higher ground immediately. And of course, never drive through floodwaters. Fast-flowing floodwaters of just a foot deep can lift even an SUV off the road. So don't drive into floodwaters at all. Find a bridge, find another way around, but don't risk your life to get to where you're going that little bit faster. When the roadway is flooded, turn around, don't drown. Thank you very much for watching. Hope we've been helpful. We'll have a video later on the developing tropical situation in the North Indian Ocean. But wherever you are in the world, we hope you stay safe. Goodbye.